Hey folks, Matt Sharp here with another Pacific Angler Friday Fishing Report. We are filming for February 14th, so as always, if it's nowhere near February 14th, click up here. This is a link to all our Friday Fishing Reports, and I've probably got something more up to date for you. This week, we have a double upload on the channel, and we've got two cool videos. One for you guys that might be considering escaping the great wet north this winter. It is a review of the new Sage flats rod called the Maverick, and the reviews are out. I really like this rod. It is definitely something to consider both for intermediate and advanced guys. We're going to touch base on that in the middle of the report. And also, due to popular demand, we've gone into the vault and brought out some older videos, and this one specifically is one of my favorites from back in the day, where Dimitri was tying, I think, one of the coolest prawn style patterns you can tie for steelhead. And it's in fast forward, so don't worry, it's a technical pattern, but it's fast. So we're going to talk through that at the back end of the report, and definitely one you fly tyers will want to check out. Obviously, we're also going to go over the fishing, and the story this week is go fishing. We're looking at good conditions, good temperatures, good reports. I've got a bunch of fish pictures this week from cutthroat, steelhead to bull trout, so it's definitely worth considering time on the water, and the saltwater boys have been doing pretty good as well. So as always, guys, you want to see more info like this, more reports like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button, and let's get into her. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in this week. We're going to keep it fairly quick. That said, we are looking at a really good week to get out fishing. It has been wet and rainy and gross, obviously, for entire January, most of December as well. And I wish I had better news. We're going to see some more rain, but it's not going to be extreme levels of rain. And when we look at it on a fishing level, rain's not a bad thing. The clouds are going to keep the warmth in. We're not going to get those freezing cold temperatures that we sometimes see in February, at least for the next week. And also keeps the color of the water not super clear. I'll take slightly dirty water over low, clear, cold conditions any day of the week. And when we pull up the weather, we are seeing exactly that. We're going to see mild rain, at least mild rain on what we saw the last couple weeks. And so here's Vancouver. I'll pull it up first because it's easy. But we got 5 to 10 Thursday as I'm going to be editing this. We got 20 on Friday, but there's some sun poking through, and then 10 to 15 on Saturday. Now, some years we'd actually be a little bit worried about numbers like that, but for the last 2 months, numbers like this have not really materialized, at least when it comes to dirtying up rivers. And I suspect that these numbers are going to be a good thing for you. It's going to keep river levels fairly stable, which is what we want right now. So this is Squamish, so expect good fishing rate through the weekend. And you can also see the temperatures, which are fairly nice for this time of year, with 7s, 6s, 7s, that kind of thing. And that temperature is important. If we see negatives, it makes fishing really challenging, but it doesn't look like we're going to see that at least for the next 7 days. Throw it out to Chilliwack, very, very similar information out there. You can see 15, 15, 15 to 20 as you guys roll into the weekend, clearing up a little bit early next week. And so we might see some of those clearer conditions come then. But right now that slide is an issue. As I'm doing this report, we're getting like 1 to 2 feet of visibility on the Vetter, courtesy of the slide. The water levels are getting low, but that color is still a mild issue. That said, we saw a number of fish picks this week. The reports we're getting are that guys are consistently catching them, and it looks like they're having at least an okay steelhead year out the Vetter way. Roll over to the real-time hydrometrics, and this is the Vetter. You can see it's dropping. It's getting into that sort of 2 level, which is getting low, but it's sort of trumped by that dirty water courtesy of the slide. Guys are fishing above that slide, but it's getting very clear above that slide. It's almost worth considering below the slide, even though the water's dirtier, just because the fish are going to get picky in that clear water condition. Bring your dirty water stuff if you're going to fish down low. Bring your small and subtle patterns if you're fishing up above. But either way, it's a go. On the Squamish front, you can see she's plummeted pretty good. She's in a 2, 1, 2, 3 level right now, bumping up and down. I expect this will be low and clear for you guys if you're fishing on the weekend, but I expect it to be pretty good. I would go fishing in these conditions. Not ideal, but definitely go time when it comes to the river levels. So on the video front, let's take a peek at that. And the first one I'm going to talk about is the Maverick Sage rod review. It was one that we played with a lot. We put a bunch of the rods in the shop up on the rack, did a big comparison of everything, tried to wrap our heads around what a flex on a graph, so to say, might mean when you get out casting it. And the long story short on this one is this rod is something special. No, it is not a $1,200 rod. The benefit of those $1,200 rods is there, but as a guy who loves the Sage 1, which was the top of the line rod a handful of years ago, this rod feels very, very similar, and I think it's going to apply really well to you intermediate and advanced guys going on a warm water trip who want a sports car of a flats rod, meaning it's quick, it's fast, it's responsive, you do have to pay attention to it. That said, it doesn't come at that $1,200 price point, so I expect a lot of you out there should be interested. Take a look at it, have some fun. We geek out pretty hard. Might be interesting to you. I'll leave a link up here for you if you want to check that out. On the last video, it is Dimitri's prawn, and due to popular demand, a few of you guys said, hey, we want to see more stuff with Dimitri in it. I gave him a call and said, hey, can I repost your video? This is one we did, I want to say 5 years ago. So video quality is a little bit low, but it's pretty impressive actually for when we did it. And Dimitri rolls through this pattern, and it's an interesting one to watch because when this pattern was tied, a lot of what he's doing in it was very cutting edge, very new and modern. A lot of the moves now are fairly commonplace, but this pattern is a beautiful pattern by itself, but is also a really, really fishy pattern. It's a quick one. You don't have to stay tuned for an hour and 45 minutes. It's about a 10-minute video. And if you're looking for a cool pattern to challenge yourself with, check it out. I'll leave the link up here as well. Definitely worth putting on the bench. For you saltwater anglers, I don't have much, but there were a bunch of boats out over the last week, and the reports were good. Most boats that went out found fish. Most boats that went out and dropping traps were successful on that front as well. I'm not going to get into tides. I'm not going to get into major details on spots this week, but it's still a go time if you can pick a day that isn't too ugly on the weather front. And it looks like though there'll be some rain, though there'll be some cloud cover this weekend, it should be good for you guys. So definitely worth looking at if you're thinking about getting down to the boats. Well, guys, that's everything I've got for you this week. I wanted to keep it short and sweet because obviously the theme is go fishing. Get out there, enjoy what BC has to offer. There's a lot more politics stuff, science stuff, and conservation stuff coming down the pipes. A bunch of guys and girls are working their butts off behind the scenes. I wanted to let you know that that's happening, but it's not concrete yet. I don't have anything for you, but it's coming soon. If you guys want to see more information on the politics, on the conservation, leave the comments down below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well so you get all the videos, and we'll catch you in the next Friday Fishing Report.